Perhaps right now you can notice that you are already breathing. The body has been breathing on its own without any effort from you. You may not have paid attention to it until this moment. There is nothing dramatic here, nothing to chase. Just you and this very simple, gentle fact. You are breathing. As you hear these words, you may like to soften your shoulders, relax your jaw, and allow yourself to arrive where you are. You do not need to change anything. You do not need to become a different person. You are invited only to notice. Notice the next in-breath. Notice the next out-breath. You can silently say, breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. Let the breath be like a quiet friend who has always been here, waiting for you to turn toward it and smile. If you like, you can place one hand on your belly or your chest just to feel the movement of the breath. There is a gentle rising with the in-breath and a gentle falling with the out-breath. Like a small wave coming in and a small wave going out. The breath is like a soft river flowing through you, steady and kind. You are not forcing it to be deeper or slower. You are simply recognizing it, greeting it, saying, hello, my breath. I am here with you now. You may notice that the mind wants to run away. It may go to the past, things you have done, words you wish you had said differently, memories that still touch your heart. Or it may go to the future, plans, worries, what-if stories that pull at your attention. This is not a problem. It is simply the habit of the mind, a habit that has been practiced for a long time. Each time you notice the mind has wandered, you can smile softly and come back to one breath. When you come back like this, you are coming home to yourself. The home you are returning to is not a house in the world. It is the living, breathing presence inside your own body. Here in this breath, you are safe. In this breath, you are not required to solve anything. You can rest in this simple feeling, I am here, I am breathing. One conscious breath is already a small island of peace. If there is tension in the body, the breath can hold it. You might notice some tightness in the shoulders, in the face, in the chest or stomach. You can gently bring the breath there. As you breathe in, you know that the tension is there. As you breathe out, you let the breath wrap around it with kindness. You may like to say, breathing in, I am aware of my tension. Breathing out, I smile to my tension. The smile does not deny the pain, it simply brings warmth and understanding to it. Peace is not something far away that you have to chase. It is not something that only belongs to special people or special places. Peace is a quality that can appear in this very moment when you are fully present with your breath. When you are with your breath, you are not lost in the past or the future. You are here. In this here-ness, there is space. In this space, the heart can soften and the mind can rest. You can notice as you stay with the breath that even your thoughts are like little clouds passing through a vast sky. You allow their words to come as they are, without preparing your response in your mind. You do not judge, you do not correct, you do not argue inside yourself. You are like the earth receiving the rain. The earth does not try to control the rain, it simply receives. Deep listening is receiving the experience of the other person without resistance. Sometimes what you hear may be hard. They may express anger, disappointment, or blame. They may speak from their own suffering, which may not be clear or skillful. As you listen, the first instinct of your mind might be to defend yourself, to explain, or to push their words away. This is natural. But with mindfulness, you can breathe through these impulses. Breathing in, I feel my reaction arising. Breathing out, I calm my reaction. You do not need to follow the impulse. You simply recognize it and let it settle like a wave returning to the sea. With each breath, you make more space inside yourself. In this spaciousness, you can listen more deeply. You can begin to hear not just their words, but the suffering underneath the words. Behind anger, there may be hurt. Behind blame, there may be fear. Behind sharp words, there may be a deep longing to be seen and understood. When you listen in this way, you do not take the words personally. You see the wounded child in the other person calling for help. You may find that deep listening itself can bring relief to the speaker. When someone feels truly heard, their suffering softens. They may begin to cry or speak more calmly. They may say, "Thank you for listening." You have not fixed their problem. You have simply been present. But presence is powerful. Presence can open a door to healing. Many conflicts in relationships do not need grand solutions. They need understanding, which can be born from one mindful breath and one attentive ear. Deep listening also requires humility. Why? You understand that you do not know everything the other person has lived through. You only see a small part of their experience. With each breath, you remind yourself, I am listening to understand, not to judge. This intention is like a lamp that lights the path of listening. It keeps your heart soft and your mind open. Sometimes deep listening means allowing silence. After the other person finishes speaking, you do not rush to respond. You let the silence breathe. You take a gentle breath and feel your body. You may ask softly, is there more you would like to share? This invitation shows that you are not in a hurry. You are willing to stay with them, to walk with them through their inner landscape. As you practice listening to others, you may also discover the importance of listening to yourself. Inside you, there are many voices, your inner child, your fears, your hopes, your old wounds. These voices often speak softly, and they are easily drowned out by busyness, distraction, or self-criticism. Deep listening begins at home. When you sit quietly with your breath, you can hear the voice inside that says, I am tired, or I am scared, or I need care. When you listen to this inner voice with kindness, healing begins from within. Listening deeply, both inwardly and outwardly, helps you touch the truth of interbeing. You begin to see more clearly that you are not separate from others, just as a wave is not separate from the ocean. Your joy is connected to the joy of others. Your suffering is connected to their suffering. Your peace contributes to their peace. When you speak lovingly and listen deeply, you create a circle of connection, a place where both hearts can rest. From this understanding of connection, the insight of interbeing becomes clearer. Interbeing teaches that everything contains everything else. When you look at a sheet of paper, you can see the tree that became the paper. You can see the rain that helped the tree grow. You can see the sunshine that nourished it. You can see the logger, the paper mill, the hands that carried it. All of this is within the sheet of paper. Without these, the paper cannot exist. The same is true for you. You are made of your ancestors, your teachers, your family, the food you eat, the air you breathe. Within you, there is the river, the mountain, the sky, the earth. The breath you are taking right now contains the breath of trees, which give you oxygen. Your breath also nourishes the trees. This is interbeing. Nothing exists by itself. Nothing can be separate. When you see this, compassion arises naturally. You understand that harming another is harming yourself. Caring for another is caring for yourself. You may take a moment now to notice how many beings are connected to this very breath you are taking. The air has traveled through forests, oceans, and the lungs of countless living beings. When you breathe in, you welcome the whole world into your body. When you breathe out, you offer the world your life energy. This exchange happens thousands of times a day, and yet it is so gentle, so quiet, that we often forget it. Mindfulness allows us to remember. From this place of deep seeing, your actions begin to change. You may become more gentle in the way you touch things, the way you speak, the way you walk. You may feel more gratitude for the simple gifts around you, the light, the water, the food, the presence of people you love. You see that everything is woven together. You are a part of this great web of life. Your peace is not just for you, it is a gift to the whole world. When you recognize into being, even a small mindful breath becomes an act of love for the planet. Each time you calm your anger or soften your fear, you reduce the suffering in the world. Each time you walk mindfully or speak kindly, you contribute to peace. You do not need to be a hero or a saint. Your everyday actions, rooted in awareness and compassion, are enough. They ripple outward in ways you may never fully see. You can bring this understanding into every part of your day. You may wake up in the morning and feel gratitude for your breath, for your body that has rested through the night. As you rise from the bed, you can take one mindful step on the floor. As you brush your teeth, you can notice the coolness of the water, the movement of your hands. As you prepare your food, you can touch the vegetables or grains with care, knowing they carry the life of the earth. Throughout the day, you can choose a few moments to return to your breath. When you hear a phone ring, step through a doorway, stop at a red light, or even wash your hands. Each of these moments can become a gentle bell of mindfulness. You pause for one breath, feel your body, and smile. Even in busy environments, you can find small islands of calmness. Before you speak to someone, you can take one mindful breath. Before you react quickly, you can place your attention on your belly and feel it rise and fall. When tension builds in your shoulders or jaw, you can soften with one slow exhale. When you feel overwhelmed, you can pause, breathe deeply, and say softly inside, "This moment is enough. I do not need to rush." These small practices collect your energy and keep you connected to yourself. As you continue through your day, you can let your movements be slower, your touch lighter, your attention broader. You can practice noticing the sky, the trees, the sound of the wind. Even if you are indoors, you can feel the presence of life around you. Every moment becomes an opportunity to wake up. Every breath becomes an invitation to return home. Over time, you may find that you no longer feel separated from the world. You feel connected. Your heart feels more open. You begin to experience moments of peace, even when things are not perfect. This is the fruit of living each day with mindfulness. It is simple, but it is powerful. It brings you back to the truth that peace is not something you have to earn. Peace is always here, waiting for you in the present moment. As the day comes to an end, you can sit quietly for a few moments and reflect on the breaths you took, the steps you walked, the words you spoke, and the people you encountered. You may smile at the moments when you were mindful and also smile at the moments when you forgot. Both are part of the practice. The important thing is that you continue. With each breath, you begin again. When you relax your body at night, you can place a hand on your heart or belly and feel the gentle rise and fall. You can say softly, breathing in, "I rest," breathing out, "I let go." The breath becomes a soft cushion for your mind, helping you release the noise of the day. In this quiet space, you may recognize once again that peace is not something far away. Peace is as close as your next breath. And now, as we come to a natural close, you may notice that nothing special needs to happen. You have been breathing, walking, listening, speaking, and simply being. This is enough. The teachings do not live in books or long explanations. They live in your own experience, in your own body, in your own breath. Each moment offers you a chance to return to yourself and to touch the peace that is always available. Peace does not come from trying hard or from forcing anything. It comes from relaxing into the reality of this moment. In this breath, you can let go of the need to change yourself. In this breath, you can feel your own presence as something warm and kind. In this breath, you can open to the world around you with compassion and understanding. If you wish, you can close your eyes for a moment and take one final gentle breath. Feel the air entering, feel the air leaving. This breath is life itself, flowing through you with ease. With each breath, you can remember your capacity for peace. With each breath, you can return home. And with each breath, you can offer your calmness to the world. This is the simple, beautiful truth. Peace is already here. It has been here all along. It waits for you in every moment, especially in the moments when you pause, breathe, and smile. May your breaths continue to guide you. May your steps continue to ground you. May your words and listening continue to open hearts. And may you walk through this life gently, aware that you are never alone. The sky is your awareness. The clouds are just movements. Sometimes many clouds, sometimes few. Sometimes dark clouds, sometimes light ones. The breath is like a gentle wind that reminds you, you are the sky, not the passing clouds. You do not need to cling to any thought or push it away. You can let it come and let it go while you stay with the soft rhythm of in and out. If you like, you can deepen the practice with a simple phrase. Breathing in, I arrive. Breathing out, I am home. Arrive where? Home where? Arrive here, in this body, in this moment. Home in the simple truth that you are alive, breathing, and capable of awareness. You do not need more than this to touch peace. Each time you remember your breath, you are already practicing. As you continue, you may feel a bit more space around your thoughts, a bit more softness in your muscles, a bit more quiet in your inner world. It does not need to be dramatic. Even a small shift is precious. You can trust that this one breath you are taking now is planting a seed. With each mindful breath, this seed of peace and presence grows stronger in you, gently, without force. Now, as you sit here and notice this breath, you are already on the path. There is nowhere else you have to go. This moment, just as it is, with whatever feelings, sounds, and sensations are present, is enough. If you lose the breath, you come back. If you forget, you remember again. Each return is a loving step toward yourself. The breath is always ready to welcome you home. As you continue to be with your breathing, you may like to explore it more deeply. The breath can become a shelter, a small hut of peace where you can rest at any time. To feel this more clearly, you can begin to notice the qualities of the breath, how long it is, how short, how deep or shallow. You do not have to change it, only see it clearly. Breathing in, I notice my in-breath. Eath is long. Breathing out, I notice my out-breath is long. Or breathing in, I notice my in-breath is short. Breathing out, I notice my out-breath is short. The breath is not always the same. Sometimes it is calm, sometimes it is not. Sometimes it feels smooth, sometimes a bit rough. By observing these changes with kindness, you are also learning to observe your own mind and emotions with kindness. The breath becomes a mirror, showing you how you are in this moment. When you look into this mirror with gentle eyes, understanding arises. Understanding is the beginning of peace. When the breath is deep and slow, the body relaxes. You might like to invite the breath to become a little deeper and slower, but always without force. You can say silently, breathing in, deep, breathing out, slow. As you say deep, you allow the in-breath to fill the lungs in a comfortable way. As you say slow, you let the out-breath be a little longer, like pouring water gently from a cup. Deep and slow breathing is like giving the body a soft lullaby. You may also use another simple phrase, breathing in, calm, breathing out, ease. With the in-breath, you invite calmness into your body and mind. With the out-breath, you allow ease to spread through your shoulders, your jaw, your hands, your feet. Calm and ease do not mean that everything is perfect. It just means that in this moment, you are willing to meet life as it is with a relaxed heart. If anxiety is present, the breath can be a kind companion. Anxiety can feel like a storm inside the chest, like waves crashing in the belly. Instead of trying to push it away, you can take it into your arms with your breathing. Breathing in, I know anxiety is here. Breathing out, I hold my anxiety with tenderness. You do not fight it. You stay with your breath as you would stay with a child who is scared. Little by little, the storm can begin to calm because it feels seen and cared for. The breath is like a soft anchor in the middle of this inner ocean. When the waves of thought and emotion are strong, the anchor keeps you from being carried too far away. You still feel the movement of the waves, but you are not lost in them. You are in contact with something stable and steady, the feeling of air coming in and going out, the rise and fall of your chest, the simple rhythm of life itself. You can also smile to your breath. The smile does not need to be big. It can be very gentle, almost invisible. This smile is not forced happiness. It is a sign of friendliness, a sign that you are willing to be here with yourself. Breathing in, I smile to my breath. Breathing out, I release. The breath and the smile together create a soft light inside, like the warm glow of a candle in a quiet room. The more you become familiar with your breath in this way, the easier it is to return to it during your day. Even when you are busy, you can take one conscious breath. One breath when you wake up, one breath before you speak, one breath when you feel tension rising. Each time you are strengthening the path of peace inside you, making it clear and easy to follow. You do not need to get rid of all thoughts or feelings to be at peace. You only need to know that you have a place to rest within yourself. The breath is that place. It is simple, always here, never judging you, never asking you to be different. With each mindful breath, you are saying to yourself, you are enough. This moment is enough. Let us rest here for a while. In time, breathing in this way becomes natural. You do not have to make a big effort. Your body remembers. When something difficult happens, your first instinct can become, let me breathe. When something beautiful happens, you can also breathe and fully receive it. The breath helps you hold both joy and pain with the same gentle awareness, the same open heart. Now, as you feel the breath moving in your body, you may notice a sense of stability that was not so clear before. You are sitting or lying here, and the breath flows like a river through you, washing away some of the dust of your worries. Even if small, this sense of stability is real. You can trust it. It is the fruit of simply being with your breathing, moment after moment, with patience and kindness. At some point, you may wish to stand up or move. The practice does not end when you stop sitting. The breath is with you, whether you are still or in motion. For this reason, each step you take can also become part of your meditation. The same awareness that holds the breath can hold your footsteps. The same peace that you touch while sitting can be touched as you walk. When you stand up, you can do so slowly, with care. Feel the contact of your feet against the floor. Feel the weight of your body being supported by the ground. Before taking the first step, you may like to take one conscious breath. Breathing in, I arrive in my body. Breathing out, I am ready to walk in peace. There is no need to hurry. You are not walking to get somewhere quickly. You are walking to enjoy each step. As you begin to walk, you can notice how one foot lifts, moves through the air, and then touches the ground. Then the other foot does the same. This simple movement, which you have done thousands of times without noticing, can now become fresh and alive. You can walk a little more slowly than usual, just enough to feel each part of the step. Each step is like kissing the earth with your foot, gently, with respect and love. You can let the breath and the steps move together. For example, you may take 2 or 3 steps as you breathe in and 2 or 3 steps as you breathe out. You do not need to count exactly. Let it be natural and comfortable. You can use a small phrase such as, "In, I arrive, out, I am home." With each in-breath and each step, you arrive in the present moment. With each out-breath and each step, you feel at home on this earth, in this body, in this life. If your mind begins to wander while walking, this is not wrong, it is just another chance to return. As soon as you notice that you are lost in thought, you can smile softly and feel the next step. You might say silently, thinking just to recognize what is happening. Then you return to the feeling of your foot touching the ground, the sensation of the air on your skin, the gentle movement of your body. Each return is a small act of love. Walking in this way, you do not need any special place. A simple room, a hallway, a garden, a path outside your home, all can become paths of peace. You do not need silence around you, because the silence you are cultivating is inside. Even if there are sounds, the hum of traffic, voices, birds, wind, you can let them be there like part of a wide, open field of awareness. You continue to walk, step by step, breath by breath, like a calm lake that reflects all things without being disturbed. If your day is usually very busy, walking meditation can be like a pause button for your life. Even a few minutes of slow, mindful walking can refresh your mind and relax your body. You might choose small moments during the day, walking from your bed to the bathroom in the morning, going from your desk to the kitchen, or moving from one room to another. Instead of rushing, you can walk as if you have all the time in the world. In those few steps, you really do. As you walk, you can also notice the contact between your foot and the ground more clearly. There is a firmness, a support, a quiet strength beneath you. The earth is always there, carrying you, holding you up without asking anything. When you walk mindfully, you recognize this support and feel grateful for it. Each step can be a way of saying thank you with your whole body. The breath continues to stay with you as you walk, like a gentle rhythm behind the steps. You can use other short phrases if you wish. Breathing in, calm, breathing out, smiling, or breathing in, I arrive in the here. Breathing out, I arrive in the now. These simple words can help your mind stay with your body so that you are really walking, not walking and worrying, not walking and arguing inside your head, but just walking. Over time, walking like this can change the way you move through the world. Places that used to feel stressful, corridors at work, busy sidewalks, even your own home when you are in a hurry, can become places of practice. You do not need to announce it to anyone. Quietly, inside yourself, you know, I am here. I am taking one step in peace. Your steps become slower, more stable, more graceful, and your inner world begins to reflect that stability. You may also notice that when your steps are peaceful, your thoughts become more peaceful too. The body and mind are not separate. When the body moves with care and ease, the mind follows. Each step can massage the mind like a gentle hand soothing a tired forehead. If you feel sadness, you can walk with it. If you feel joy, you can walk with it. In both cases, you are not running away. You are staying with yourself, step by step. At some point, you may pause and stand still for a breath or two, feeling your whole body from head to toe, supported by the ground, filled with the gentle flow of the breath. Standing like this, you are like a tree, rooted in the earth, reaching toward the sky, yet perfectly still, perfectly present. Then, when you are ready, you take another mindful step. Nothing has changed on the outside, but inside, you are walking as a free person. Walking like a free person does not mean that all your problems are gone. It means that in this moment, you are not a prisoner of them. You are not trapped in your thoughts or in other people's expectations. You are in touch with the simple joy of being alive, of having a body that can move, lungs that can breathe, feet that can touch the earth. This is already a great happiness, one that many people in the world cannot always enjoy. Each step you take in this way is an expression of peace. You may not realize it, but the quality of your walking can also touch others. When someone sees a person walking calmly, gently, without hurry, something in them may remember their own capacity for peace. You become like a quiet bell of mindfulness in the world, not by trying to teach anyone, but simply by being fully present with your breath and your steps. As you continue to walk, you can nourish a deep trust in this simple practice. Whenever life feels heavy, whenever your mind feels crowded, you can return to one conscious breath, one conscious step. The breath and the step are always there, like open doors to the present moment. With them, you can touch a peace that is not dependent on conditions, a peace that has always been waiting for you right here, in the very next breath, in the very next step. As you walk in this way, you may begin to see that every small act in your day can become part of your practice. You do not need a special cushion, a special room, or a special posture to be mindful. Mindfulness is simply the art of being here with whatever you are doing. When you sit down to eat, when you drink a glass of water, when you wash your hands or fold your clothes, these moments are not separate from meditation. They are the heart of meditation. Imagine the next time you sit down to eat. Before you take the first bite, you pause for one gentle breath. You look at the food without rushing. You notice the colors, the shapes, the smell. You may silently say, breathing in, I see my food. Breathing out, I feel grateful. The food is not just an object, it is a miracle, a continuation of many other miracles. In a piece of bread, you can see the wheat, the farmer, the rain, the sun, the soil. Many hands and many forces of nature have come together so that you can take this bite. When you bring the food to your mouth, you can do it slowly, without distraction. You chew with awareness, feeling the texture and the taste. Your mind is not running to your phone, your work, or your worries. It is staying with the simple act of chewing. You may notice that when you eat like this, the food seems more alive, more rich. Your body receives it with more ease. You do not need to eat quickly or in large amounts because you are truly there for each bite. Eating becomes an act of love toward your body and toward the earth. The same is true when you drink. You pick up your cup of water or tea and pause for one breath. You feel the weight of the cup in your hand, the temperature against your fingers. You bring it to your lips and take a small, mindful sip. As the liquid touches your tongue and moves down your throat, you stay present. You may say softly inside, breathing in, I drink this water. Breathing out, I feel refreshed. You may recognize that this water has come from clouds, from rivers, from deep under the ground. It carries the life of the earth within it. When you drink in this way, even a simple glass of water can become a deep meeting with life. You are not just quenching your thirst, you are touching the miracle of interconnection. The water enters your body and becomes part of your blood, your cells, your breath. You and the water are no longer separate. When you are mindful, you can feel this unity, and it can fill you with quiet joy. Even the tasks that you may not enjoy, washing dishes, sweeping the floor, folding laundry, can become gentle moments of practice. When you wash a dish, you feel the warm water on your hands, the smooth shape of the plate, the sound of the water. You breathe in and you know you are washing the dish. You breathe out and you let your shoulders relax. There is no need to rush to finish. The act of washing is already finishing. The act of washing, done in mindfulness, is already peace. You may notice that when you bring this kind of presence to simple tasks, your mind is less scattered. You are not chasing thoughts in all directions. Instead, you are rooted in what your hands are doing right now. This kind of attention can be very healing. It gathers your energy, which may normally be spread thin over many worries. In this collected state, you feel more stable, more whole. You feel that life is not just made of big events, but of many small, sacred moments like these. However, there will be times when, even in these small acts, pain or sorrow appears. Perhaps as you drink your tea, you remember something that hurts. As you wash your dishes, a wave of sadness or anger comes up. It is important to know that this is not a failure of your practice. This is exactly where meditation becomes real. This is where the teaching, no mud, no lotus, can support you. The lotus is a beautiful flower that grows out of the mud. Without the mud, there can be no lotus. In the same way, your understanding, compassion, and wisdom grow out of your suffering. The discomfort, the wounded places in your heart, the fears and regrets, these are the mud of your life. The goal is not to throw this mud away. The goal is to know how to hold it, how to use it as nourishment for a beautiful flower. When a painful feeling arises, you can turn toward it with the same gentle attention you give to your breath or your steps. First, you recognize it. Breathing in, I know there is sadness in me. Breathing out, I hold my sadness with tenderness. You do not push it down or distract yourself from it. You do not judge yourself for having it. You simply allow it to be seen, like a small child who is crying and wants to be held. You might feel this sadness as a tightness in your chest, a heaviness in your stomach, a lump in your throat. You can invite your breath to come to these places. With each in-breath, you say, I see you. With each out-breath, you say, I am here with you. You are not alone with your pain, because your mindful awareness is there to embrace it. In that embrace, the energy of the emotion can begin to soften. It may not disappear right away, but it can become less sharp, less overwhelming. This is the practice of turning mud into lotus. Instead of running away from the mud, you stay with it, breathe with it, understand it. Over time, as you hold your suffering in this way, you may discover that it has something to teach you. It may show you where you need to rest more, where you need to set a boundary, where you need to forgive yourself or another. From this deep seeing, new blossoms of clarity and kindness can open in your heart. Sometimes the mud comes in the form of anger. Anger can feel hot, hard, and strong. It can make you want to speak or act in ways that you later regret. When you notice anger rising, you can treat it as an urgent call for your attention. You do not need to fight your anger. You can breathe with it. Breathing in, I know anger is here. Breathing out, I care for my anger. You imagine anger as a small child who is shouting because they are hurt. They want someone to listen. You can walk slowly with your anger or sit and hold it with your breathing. You do not speak from this place. You just listen inwardly. Little by little, as the breath soothes your body, the anger can cool. Underneath the anger, you may find sadness, fear, or a deep wish to be understood and loved. When you see this, your heart can open. The mud of anger begins to transform into the lotus of compassion for yourself and for others. The same is true with fear, shame, loneliness. All of these difficult emotions are part of the mud. Instead of pushing them away, you invite them gently into your awareness. You let them sit quietly in the light of your breathing. In that light, they lose some of their power to control you. You become free, not by escaping them, but by embracing them carefully and seeing their roots. As you learn to hold your own suffering in this way, you become more gentle with the suffering of others. You know what it feels like inside when pain is not understood. So naturally, you want to offer understanding, not more blame or judgment. This understanding begins to show itself in the way you speak and the way you listen. Your speech becomes softer, more careful. Your listening becomes deeper, more open. This is where the practice of loving speech can grow. Loving speech is not about always saying pleasant things. It is about speaking in a way that does not cause harm, that nourishes trust and understanding. Before you say something, especially in a moment of tension, you can take one mindful breath. Breathing in, I calm my mind. Breathing out, I choose words that are kind. This one breath can make a big difference. It gives you a small space in which to see clearly. Will these words help? Will they heal? Or will they wound? Sometimes when we are hurt, we want to throw our pain at the other person through our words. We may speak quickly, loudly, or harshly. Afterward, we feel regret. To change this pattern, we do not need to force ourselves into silence or pretend we are not hurt. Instead, we can use our breath to take care of the hurt first. We can say, I am angry, I am sad, I will take care of my feelings before I speak. We breathe, we walk, we hold our feelings like we hold the crying child. Only when we feel calmer do we open our mouth to speak. When you are ready to speak, loving speech can begin with honesty. You can say, when this happened, I felt hurt, instead of you always do this, or you never listen. By speaking from your own experience, you are sharing your heart instead of attacking the other. You can also express your intention. I want us to understand each other. I want to find peace. These simple truths, spoken calmly and slowly, can open a door in the conversation. Loving speech is also attentive. It is not just about what you say, but how you say it. You may notice the tone of your voice, the volume, the speed. You can let your voice be an extension of your breath, gentle, steady, clear. If you feel yourself getting tense while speaking, you pause for one breath. You may even say, I need a moment to breathe before I continue. This honesty is also a form of loving speech. Sometimes loving speech means saying, I am not ready to talk about this now. I need some time to calm down and understand my feelings. This is not a rejection of the other person. It is a way of protecting both of you from words spoken in anger. You promise to return to the conversation when you have more peace inside. This promise is important. It shows that you respect the relationship and are not running away, only pausing to care for your own heart. As you practice speaking in this way, you may notice that your relationships slowly change. There may still be disagreements and difficult moments, but the energy around them is different. There is more space, more patience. The people around you can feel that you are trying to understand rather than to win. This creates trust. Over time, this trust becomes a kind of shared refuge, a place where true healing conversations can happen. Loving speech also includes words of appreciation and gratitude. Often we see what is wrong more easily than what is right. We may forget to say, thank you, I see your effort, or I am happy you are here. When you are mindful, you can notice the small acts of kindness around you and name them out loud. These simple words can nourish the hearts of others, just as mindful breathing nourishes your own heart. You do not need to force these words. They arise naturally when you are present. When you see clearly, you see both the mud and the lotus in yourself and in others. You see the mistakes and the beauty. From this deep seeing, your speech becomes more balanced. You can gently point out what hurts, while also honoring what is good. This balance is a precious gift in any relationship. All of this begins with one breath to pause before reacting, one breath to feel your own pain, one breath to open to the pain of the other, one breath to choose words that do not create more suffering. In this way, the river of your breath and the river of your speech begin to flow in the same direction, toward understanding, toward peace. As you continue to care for your speech in this gentle way, you may begin to notice how naturally it leads into the art of listening. Speaking and listening are like two wings of the same bird. If one wing is injured or weak, the bird cannot fly well. The same is true for relationships. Loving speech needs deep listening in order to create real understanding. Without deep listening, even soft words may not reach the other person's heart. When you listen deeply, you become a safe space for others, a place where their suffering can be seen without fear. Deep listening begins with your own breath. Before you listen to someone else, you take one mindful breath to return to yourself. You may say silently, breathing in, I come home to my body. Breathing out, I open my heart to listen. This breath helps you relax any tension you are carrying. It reminds you that you do not need to fix anything or solve anything. You are simply offering your presence, your openness, your compassion. When the other person begins to speak, you listen without interrupting.